Good morning and welcome to another Ifa Temple service here with Okanranso de Temple, Miami, Florida. My name is Baba Anthony, and let us begin with our morning prayers. Alolo me, cool, peaceful water, pure, tranquil water. The path the vulture takes from heaven to earth, the path the vulture takes from earth to heaven. It is demanding. This was the Ifa cast for Rumila. He's going to take Olomi Tutu of Cool Waters, his wife. Ifa says it's taboo. Eddie Yellow will never allow Olomi Tutu to die cool, cheap death. Olomi Tutu and death have entered into a covenant. Cool road, cool home, cool Ashu. Ashe. Ibashe, Olodumare, Batedekae, Ibashe, Ati Odum, Ibashe, Ati Odum, Ibashe to all the Ramona on the right hand side of Olodumare, Ibashe to all the Ramona on the left hand side of Olodumare, Ibashe to Orumila, Lady Ipin, Ibashe to Akota, Ibashe to Asheta, Ibashe to my Ori, Ibashe to Ashu, Ibashe to my mother, Ibashe to my father, Ibashe to my little, Ibashe to my Oyibona, Ibashe to my Baba Ifa, Ibashe to all my brothers and sisters in Ifa and Orisha who have shared their wisdom with me, Ibashe to my wife, Ibashe to my children. Ogunda Warren, the ocean is filled to the brim, lagoon is filled to capacity, Alasan's going to our son, our son's going to our son, the owl woke at the top of the rock, the elders thought over the matter and realized it was no longer favorable. They used their mustaches to cover their faces and spread their beards firmly over their chest. They used decorations to be font to Ishe traditionalism, and to the head very oracle from Ileife. What is one Ishe? Olodumare is one Ishe. It is Ishe with peace for pleasing in Orisha. One's Ori's one's Ishe. It is Ishe with peace for pleasing in Orisha. One's mother's one's Ishe. It is Ishe with peace for pleasing in Orisha. One's father's one's Ishe. It is Ishe with peace for pleasing in Orisha. Please let us appease Ishe. It is Ishe with peace for pleasing in Orisha. Male genital organs, one's Ishe. It is Ishe for get pleased for pleasing in Orisha. Female genital organs, one's Ishe. It is Ishe with peace for pleasing in Orisha. The Ishe of our mother's lineage, the Ishe of our father's lineage. May they have a say in all that we do. It is Ishe with peace for pleasing in Orisha. Ifa, I come to pray to you this morning as I give you praise and I give praises to my ancestors, those that come before me. I ask for your guys' protection and blessings from them so that they may continue to support me in this life. I ask for the blessings from Ifa, from the blessings from Olodumare, so that they continue to guide and move forward always. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. O Ture Rete. To show gratitude upon gratitude is the hour of all gratitude. To display benevolence upon benevolence is the hour of benevolence. Whoever does not show gratitude for yesterday's favor shall not receive today's gratuity. These are the declarations of Ifa to the 401 Rumoli when going to marry Opwe. Gratitude, the daughter of Orisha Buuji Obatala. The same was also declared to Orumila when going to marry Opwe, the daughter of Orisha Buuji. I come to show I am grateful. I will receive today's gratuity. I am grateful for yesterday's favor. I shall receive today's gratuity. Otura Rete, I am very grateful. Ifa, I am very grateful for all that has been done in my life. I ask you to kind of protect and bless me always with support of Ifa to remove death, to remove sickness, to remove litigation, to remove loss, to remove contention, to remove all negative things from our life, to support us in all of our endeavors so we may find success at all times. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Awa dupe, awa bure, awa dupe o, awa bure, adupe ana o, ao bore, tori bo, Olodumare, awa dupe, awa bure. Awa dupe o, awa bure, adupe ana o, ao bore, tori bo, ori yemi, awa dupe, awa bure, awa dupe o, awa bure, adupe ana o, ao bore, tori bo, egumon, awa dupe, awa bure, awa dupe o, awa bure, adupe tutu. Pounded again without soup can be difficult to consume. This was the E5 cast for a tutu. Child of the body Egu. He whose attitude was not acceptable. He was full of bad character. He whose bad attitude prevented him from coming to E5's domain. Now we have come to solicit on behalf of E2. We have come to beg on behalf of E2. Father, please be patient and forgive this provocation. We have come to beg on behalf of E2. Oromila responded that those who come to beg on behalf of E2, those who come to solicit on behalf of E2, how many children does E5 have that he would cast one out? Those who come to beg on behalf of E2. E5, I come to pray to you this morning to forgive us for all of our challenges that we have been through, the challenges that we have knowingly made, the challenges and mistakes that we do not know that we have made, to forgive us for the challenges of our maternal lineage, forgive us for the challenges of our paternal lineage, so that we may find success always, by God to always give us support so that we may move forward and never backwards. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Oh, Fumeji, Hey, Baodu, the king who molds human beings, the king who molds human destiny, the king who supports and assists human beings, the king who molds human character, the king who molds human beings, the name given to Orishama, the king who molds human beings, molds human destiny, is name given to Orumina, the king who supports and assists human beings, is name given to Wanzori, the king who molds human characters, name given to Olotumare. Orangu Meiji, I call you by your formula, which is known as Heba Odu. You are the ones who help in organizing one's life to be fruitful. You are the ones who help in organizing one's life to be rewarded. Please come and help me organize my life, for it to be blessed with wealth, for it to be blessed with children, for it to be blessed with all the good things of life. It is impossible to see the depth of the sea. Do not let people see evil in me. It is impossible to see the depth of the river. All what I'm doing, do not let people dig up evil in me. Orangu Meiji, I call you by your formula, which is known as Heba Odu. Please let my matters be fruitful and rewarding in my life forever and ever. Ifa, I come to pray to you for support. I come to pray to you to ask for you to please give me guidance in my life in all that I do. I ask that you support our listeners, those who are coming to watch us this morning, to support them in all of their endeavors that they look for their life. Continue to guide and protect us all with the support of Ifa. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Oh, shit, Tiny on the feet of Tubu, strive for millions, not big enough to use this headgear. Had it been enough to use this headgear, I've taken it home and gone my head with it. This was the E5 cast for Wude La. We're going on a spiritual mission to EJ Boo Land. We call him the locust bean seller and pay him money. We call him Wude La with respect. And EJ Boo Land, Osha, Wude La is a good owl. Ashe, oh, Ashe, Torah. The apple tree is it which stays in the farm and beats the koso drum. The iroko tree of the wilderness is it which one fell, showing signs of affliction. The holy palm tree sprouts 16 palm fronds. I am a good blacksmith. I fashion a good hoe which can be used to sharpen among fellow blacksmiths. These were God's declaration of the inhabitants of Dun, those who after eating snails to their satisfaction use the shells to prepare echo meal for their children. Tale. The owl of Onisaki, king of Sakitan. He was one who cast Tifa for Onisaki, offspring of Obungu worshippers who do not know how to manufacture a tusk. They do not know how to manufacture beads. They were the ones who cast Tifa for them in Elordian town. They do not recognize the value of offering at both. They do not believe in offering tutu. They were dying foolish deaths in droves. All these matters are enough for serious deliberation. This was Ifa's declaration to them. Abeokuta under the Olumo rod. Broken calabashes are not easy to use to carry a bow. These were Ifa's declaration to Tete, who had acted as Oshitura's mother. It is the array of wealth which you're looking for, which you've not been able to succeed. Not be able to receive. It is the array of spouse which we were looking for, which we've not been able to receive. It is the array of children which we were looking for, which we've not been able to receive. It is the array of long life which we're looking for, which we've not been able to receive. It is the benefit of all array of life which we're looking for, which we've not been able to receive. Oshe, Ele, Ruwa, you are the offspring of Chief Okeapa. Ifa, you have heard. Edu, you have heard from heaven. Oshe, Awudela, you have heard it all. Here comes Ase Wellen. The Mother Earth is equally listening. The Awo has now reached the stage where the Mother Earth is listening to and accepting the plea of the Awo. To Eshin, may it be so, surely shall it be. Ifa, I pray to you and ask you again for your guidance and support to remove death, to remove sickness, to remove litigation, to remove loss, to remove contention, remove all negative things from our life. As we've done our prayers this morning, I'm asking for your support to take our prayers to the house of Ashe so that Olodumare will hear them, support us in all of our endeavors, and to continue to guide and protect and bless us always. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Gbogbo tí mo bá máa mọ̀wé o, mọ̀lẹ́ ó bà Ifá ó bá o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Timo duro, Timo sure, Timo bere, Timo sure, Timo kule, Timo sure, Timo joko, Timo sure, Ire Timo suori Timo. Let us hold our oris. Orieni laureni, orieni laureni. Moji lauro mafo mori orieni laureni. Morieni laureni, orieni laureni. Moji lauro mafo mori orieni laureni. Bobo ire itasu. Ifa ọba Ọlọ́run àti bàtí àdúrà. Ifa ọba Ọlọ́run ọṣẹ́ àwòrẹ́là Ifá ti tán. All the prayers that we have given, all the prayers that we have said, Ifa, I ask that you please hear all these prayers and to help us make them come true. As I give this message this morning, I'm asking for your support to have me step out of the way so that folks can hear the message of Ifa. Ashe. Good morning, Aboru Aboye. My name is Baba Anthony, and I am an Awo with Okanran Sote Temple here in Miami, Florida. I'd like to thank you for joining me this morning for this morning's messages. The title of today's Ifa sermon is Ifa Gives Me Hope. Right? Ifa Gives Me Hope. Here in Florida, many things are changing. Many things are changing. Some things that really affect us all right now is the housing market, right? It has its own issues with availability of affordable homes. Rent is moving up for folks, right, at a record pace. Some folks seeing the rent go up double in some places. Some people are still finding it difficult to find sufficient work, right? The list can go on, but there are a lot of challenges that folks are going through these days. When people are going through these different challenges in their life, one of the things that they're having problem with is maintaining hope, right? They're asking themselves constantly, will things get better? You know, what is this religious practice I'm in? Will Ifa support me? Will Ifa give me guidance? Will Ifa give me the things that are promised, right? As Ifa practitioners, the thing that I can say to us all, that it is important that we maintain hope, right? If we let ourselves get out of that place of maintaining hope, things can only get worse from there, right? End up finding ourselves in depression or, secluding ourselves from others. A number of issues can happen from losing hope, right? So let's define hope or hopefulness, said by Ifa. That is the ability or courage to feel and know that tomorrow will be better than today, and that today is better than yesterday, right? Tomorrow is better than today, and that today is better than yesterday, right? It's having that belief. That's important for us to think about. And I want us to think about that as we are listening to the verses of Ifa that I'm going to be sharing today. So our first verse of Ifa comes from the Odu of Eji Ogbe. Ashe. Everything is in your hands. This was the Ifa cast for the Akapo when lamenting for his inability to secure any ire in life. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. If I come to the world and I am blessed with wealth, everything is in your hands. If I come to the world and I am blessed with a spouse, everything is in your hands. If I come into the world, I will be blessed with good children. Everything is in your hands. If I come to the world and I am blessed with all the area of life, everything is in your hands. Ashe. So this verse of Ejiobe is about um, one thing. It's about when we come into this world, all of us are destined to have a good life. All of us are destined to find happiness. All of us are destined to find a spouse, to have wealth, to have good children, to have long life, to have the support of the deities in our life, right? In this particular verse, the Akapo says everything is in your hands. That's because the Akapo is putting his faith, his belief, his hope that Ifa and Olodumare will support him on his endeavors. It will support him on his pathway to receiving those things that were destined to come to him, right? We must be realistic in our dreams. Whenever we're working towards our goal, we need to make sure that our goals are appropriate for where we are in our life, what we can achieve, right? And at that same time, we need to think about how it affects us, when we're working towards those goals. So, for example, when it comes to making goals or choosing goals that are appropriate, this is how I do it. I create a list, right? And this happens at different times or different aspects of my life, but I create a list. I create a list of things that I want to do and the small steps that I can take to work towards that goal. Right? I create a list of the things that I can do, the small steps I can take to work towards that goal. I always ask myself when it comes to making goals, what are the things that I need at this time? Right? What are the most important things that I can do that will affect my life? Next, I start to think about the small steps I need to do in order to work towards that goal. Once I've figured out my plan, right? Once I figured out my plan, I bring Ifa and Olodumare into my plan to help me see that goal come to reality. That's a difficult process. Please understand, I'm not telling you it's easy at all. I'm not telling you it's easy at all, but it is a process. And so how do I do that? How do I bring Ifa and Olodumare into my process? I start with my morning prayers, right? I start with my morning prayers. I've had some wonderful Dafa sessions where I've heard that in order for us to find success or for the deities to support us, we need to be specific, right? We need to be specific in the goals that we want to accomplish. We can't say to a, I mean, I guess we can say whatever we want, but in the end, if you want to accomplish something, you can't say, Ifa, please bring me $1 million, right? That's not being specific. For me, it starts with saying if I want to improve my financial situation, right? Let's start there. If I want to improve my financial situation, I then, would start the process with, looking for jobs that fit my skill set, jobs that I know that I can excel in. I start that application, I start going through that process. As I work on my morning prayers, I say, Ifa, I have applied for these jobs, or I'm going to apply for these jobs. I'm looking for support in the process, right? In the meantime, as I'm preparing myself for that process, in the case that I may be called for an interview, I start making phone calls. Excuse me. I start doing research. Research, that means looking up information about the company, finding out, their history, where they specialize in, maybe their salary offerings, right? Different things about the information so I can be prepared when it comes time for me to apply for the specific job. All of the details that I need to have, and I work towards the little steps so that the big stuff seems easy when it comes, right? Say I get to that place where the time where I'm going to get called for an interview. All this time I'm doing my prayers every morning. I'm doing my prayers. I get called for the interview. I am prepared. I've done the little things day to day. I've asked Ifa and Olodumare for support, right? As we know, the more prepared we are when we walk into many of these interviews, the better chance we have of getting that particular job. This is just me sharing a situation that if I'm going to ask for assistance from Ifan Olodumare, I'm going to set myself up with a goal on how I can achieve that thing and work towards it, right? And we can talk about many different situations, and I encourage you to ask, what type of situations are you in that you want the support of Ifan Olodumare? Because at some point, we need their help in order for us to find success. Ashe? Ashe. So let us now go to a story where Orumila himself was going through some challenges in life, right? And hope was a big part of him finding his success. Ashe. This comes from the Odu of Ogbe Alara. Ogbe Alara. Origi DP, ODP Origi. This was Ifa's message for Orumila, whom all Iran life would roll into his house before daybreak. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. Here's the story of Orumila. He was in a position where he lacked almost everything that he was looking for in his life, right? And in fact, the only thing that he had going for him is that he was a pretty healthy man at the time. So he thought to himself, he was like, I'm strong, I'm healthy, but I'm in a position of, I had no money. I couldn't buy the things that I needed. He didn't have a spouse to share his thoughts, his dreams, and the things that he wanted to accomplish in his life. He didn't have any children. He didn't have a horse to find his way around from place to place. He was living in a house that didn't belong to him, right? And as a matter of fact, the position where he was living is actually like a family friend or somebody who had given him space to live. They said, hey, you know what? Orumila, just come stay here with us until you get on your feet, right? Orumila was in a place where he really only had 2 nice outfits that he could wear out in public. Sometimes he was hungry for days at a time, 2-3 days at a time. And in spite of everything that he was going through, Orumila never lost hope. Right? Despite everything that he was going through, Orumila never lost hope. Now, when Orumila would go to bed at night at this particular time in his life, he felt a presence, like something was there, right? And the presence was strong. It's almost like he felt like someone touching or brushing against him. And it's not that Orumila was scared, but he just didn't know what was happening. He wasn't sure of what this feeling was. Well, he thought, well, maybe it was just, the wind or something, or I don't know. He thought something was going on. He just kind of ignored it. Just thought it was something weird that was happening. And so he went back to sleep. 2 days later, he had experienced this feeling again when he was asleep. But the feeling was much, much stronger. He's like, this is strange. I don't know what's going on. but I'm going to try to lay here and get some sleep because I got to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow for money and for food. Right. So he woke up the next day and he's kind of looking around, and then he thought to himself, he's like, I wonder what it could be. Right. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't understand this feeling of what was happening around him. So one more night goes by, and Oromila finds, he says, this time the feeling was so strong it kept him up the entire night. Again, this wasn't a feeling of fear. It was just sort of like something, the presence or something was around him. And this kept him up all night. Now, at this point, Oromila said to himself, okay, it's time to have this investigated. It's time to figure out what's going on. So Oromila makes his way to go and see the Awo and have them cast Ifa for him. Right? He wanted to understand the feelings that he was having. He wanted to understand what was going on, the presence that was going on in this room. Right? He also wanted to understand, how he can better his life situation. Right? So the Awos cast Ifa, and they had told Oromila that, hey, Baba, you've been going through some challenges in life. Things aren't well. And the presence or those things, whatever it is you feel that's around you, that you feel someone's there, these are deities that have come from heaven to offer you support. These are deities that have come from heaven to help you improve your life. They see that you're struggling. They see that you are one that is faithful to Ifa. They see that you are one that is doing your prayers and asking for help. And they've come to make sure that you find your success. But Baba, what you have to do is that you need to offer a bow so that they can come through and give you the access to the good things in your life. Right? Ashe, Oromila says Ashe. So he decides to offer his abo, and he went home with a lot of hope. He went home happy with the messages that he got from the Awo, saying that, my blessings will be coming. He says, okay, all right. He offered his abo. He went home happy. Less than 1 week later, Oromila started to notice the changes in his life. Soon, he had many people knocking at his door asking him for consultations to help them. Right? He found himself in a place where he was able to offer them advice that was right to the point of their problem, and he offered that both for them, and that allowed him to start bringing money into his home. Well, shortly after he started getting money into his home, then he was in a position where he can move out and get his own place. So he gets his own place. He eventually ends up meeting a woman. He ends up eventually having children, then eventually buying his own horse to get around. As you can guess, his luck began to swell. Oromila was beside himself. It was almost as if all of his blessings came by magic. Ashe. So the first thing I want to do, right? The first thing I want to do is explain that Ifa is not magic, right? Oromila found his blessings as if by magic, but Ifa itself is not magic, right? Oromila went through his time of challenges. Oromila dealt with the issue of not having what he needed on a day-to-day basis. Oromila went through the challenges of not having a home, right? But what did Oromila do? He kept his faith. He kept himself in a place where Ifa and Olodumare were still first. And when he needed help, he went to the Awo to have Ifa cast to help him better his situation. Right? Soon after he offered his Ebo, things changed. because it was right there. He was right at the verge of getting out of his place of discomfort or getting out of his place of not having what he needed. And Ifa helped move him over the edge. Now, I ask this simple question. Those of you who are practitioners, have you ever experienced this in your life? I know I have. I can remember times in my life where some challenges felt and seemed like they were insurmountable. And one of those biggest challenges for me was doing Itefa or Ifa initiation. I just finished up school and the living situation was not great. Right? I faced quite a few challenges. I felt, uh, well, I'll just say it, I felt alone. I knew this is something I needed in my life and something that I wanted to do, and I felt alone. So I maintained my prayers. I created a goal for myself, and I worked towards that goal. I worked towards that goal. And little by little, assistance came from different places. And before you know it, the day had come that I was doing my Itefa. I was beside myself. I was thankful to Ifa. I was thankful to Olodumare. Right? It felt surreal. And once it came, it felt like it moved so much faster. Like getting to that point felt like it took forever. But once I got to that point, it moved really quickly. And so for myself, I continue to give thanks to Ifa and Olodumare during my morning prayers, right? Because they supported me through that challenging time in my life. I know that we are all going to go through different types of challenges, but it's important for us to remember uh, to stay faithful, to have hope, to keep your faith in Ifan and Olodumare that what they promised will come, as long as you also take that time to work towards that goal. Because Ifa is not magic. I will repeat that again. It can feel like that, but it is certainly not magic. Now, some of you may be saying to yourself, Hubaba, I promise you, I have been waiting for a long time. Been waiting for years, as a matter of fact. I've been waiting, like I don't think it's coming. Right? And that's a very valid question, a very valid thought. What happens if you've been grinding towards your goals and you still can't seem to find success? Right? Let's take a look at another verse of Ifa from the Odu of Ejiobe. Ashe. An albino is he who grows hair all over his body. A cripple is he who never stretches his hands and carries the Orisha calabash from the attic. These were the declarations of Ifa to Ami, life, the offspring of Orisha Bawuji, who shall become the most important part of the body. He was advised to offer Ebo. He complied. Now, as you listen to the story, I want you to think about the messages, right? Ifa applies to all aspects of life. Sometimes you'll hear Ifa cast for a tree. You'll hear Ifa cast for the eyes. You'll hear Ifa cast for the stomach, different aspects of the body, right? Or things in nature. But I want you to listen to the story and how Emmy found success. So, Emmy is known as the offspring of Obatala. He was very popular. One day he went to the Awo mentioned in the verse in order to know his position among the other body parts. Right? He was told that he would become the most important part of the body, and that without him, all other parts of the body, without exception, would be useless. He was also told that the body will lose many things, but that in the end, he will still remain the most important part of the body. So he was advised to offer a bow before making his journey. Also advised to make an offering to Obatala, his father. So he complied. Now, Ami had found his place uh, in a position where he was the most important part, right? The body lost so many different things, lost position, spouse, clothing, prosperity, money, all the things that you can imagine. The body lost, but Emmy remained. Emmy, life was still there. And because the body clung to life, there was always hope. With that hope, things again began to change. Money returned to the body, spouse returned, children returned. All good things returned to the body. He was so happy, he began to praise Ifa and Olodumare. Now let's think about this story. We have Emi, life, right? I almost think of life. Emi is breath. Like without that, we can't live, right? It's not there. And so Emi was looking for that place of importance in the body. This is a story that Ifa is telling us that life will continue to have its ups and downs, right? I love when people look at me and say, Baba, if I has treated you well, you must have had it so easy. That is not the case. It's still not the case, right? Not at any point has life been easy. Not at any point has everything come exactly when I wanted it to. Ifa is telling us that here is life. We can be making our emotions going up and we go down. We lose some things, then we're gonna gotta get right back up and go right back up, right? And keep going up. But as long as we maintain hope, things will get better. No loss is forever. And unfortunately, no success is forever. And so we need to remember that in our lives, in our processes. And so even if you have been dealing with a challenging time, which feels like it's been the longest amount of challenge you've ever faced, ever, Ifa is asking that you still maintain hope, right? You still maintain hope. What we have to do in life while we're working towards these goals, right? We have to do things that will keep us afloat. That's what I like to say. Because when we lose hope, the first thing we want to do is walk away from everything. When we lose hope, we want to go into that dark place where we're sitting and saying to ourselves that, this isn't going to get any better. And I just need to feel and wallow in it. I got to turn off the lights. I got to listen to my sad music. I got to do, I just got to be in it for a moment. If you take your minute and 30 seconds to do that, that's okay. But you need to get back on it, right? You need to get back on it because the promise that Ifa has made for us is that our success will be there. Let's go to the Odu of Edigbe. Odi Ogbe. Odi Ogbe. The significant Awo of today, the great Awo of tomorrow. The banana is it that resides near the stream in majestic splendor. The Awo of he who knows today and tomorrow. This was the Ifa cast for Oni Loju Pomimo. Today, my suffering ends. The offspring of Obani Regun. When coming from heaven to earth, he was advised to offer a bow. He complied. Today, my suffering ends. Today, tomorrow I will be comfortable. When a dundun drum is beaten, all the 200 gongs will dance in response. Today my suffering ends. Tomorrow I will be comfortable. This is what Ifa promises us. Today my suffering ends. Tomorrow I will be comfortable. Ifa is letting us know that if we maintain hope, it'll come. All good things will come. Right? This is important for me. We need to be sure that we are well secure in our practice. And this is what I was trying to allude to earlier, right? When we get to that dark place, we need to focus on our practice of Ifa, right? And the most fundamental aspect of our practice for me is Oshe Ifa, right? That is our prayer and our devotion. That is the time that we connect with Ifa and we talk to Ifa to let him know what we are looking for and how we are able to improve. That alone for me shifts my mindset as I wake up in the day. I could wake up tired. I could wake up having a crazy dream. I can wake up any kind of way. And I do my morning prayers and my mindset shifts. Right? And I'm thankful to Ifa for that. I'm thankful that I'm able to connect with Ifa to remember the important things of life. That I have a destiny to live, and that my success, if it is not here now, it will be here tomorrow. That's something we all have to focus on, right? We all have to remember that hope is a fundamental concept of being an Ifa practitioner. Right? That's important for us to know. So as I bring this talk to a close, let us remember the definition of hopefulness, right? The ability and courage to feel and know that what one wants will eventually happen. The belief that tomorrow will be better than today and that today is better than yesterday. Again, the belief that tomorrow will be better than today and today is better than yesterday. We are Ifa followers. Let us work towards finding our happiness. Let us maintain hope that we will see our success. Ashe. Boru Aboye. Thank you very much for joining me today for our talk with Ifa and Hope. I want to share a couple of announcements. First, we are celebrating our Temple Odun Ifa, July 21st through the 23rd. This celebration is a representation of a year of, of our beginnings of Ifa, and we're going to be casting our Odu for this upcoming year, which you're welcome to be a part of that. And we're going to be offering the Ebo Riru or an Ebo Riru from the Odu of Ogundashe for the Odu of the Year cast for Ado Ikiti, the home of Orumila. Right. If you are local and you would like to participate, please write to us and let us know. I'll be posting a sign-up list for those who would like to participate to come to be a part of the celebration. Basically, on the first day, we're going to be making omiro, offering the abo, washing Ifa, feeding Ifa. Day 2, we're going to have food, fellowship that's coming together, talking about messages from Ogundashe. We're going to On day 3, we're going to cast our Odu for the temple and hear the messages that will come with that. Right. Secondly, if you like the messages that we are offering here at Okana and Sode Temple here in Miami, we ask for your support. It doesn't matter if you want to give 50 cents, $1, $100, whatever it is. Offer your support to Okana and Sode Temple so that we can continue to grow in this community and bring Ifa to those who are around us. We want to be a place where people feel comfortable that they can learn about the philosophy and ethics of Ifa as well as better their practice. So if you feel inclined to do so, please support us. Our temple PayPal is ifatempleofmiami@gmail.com. Thank you for joining us again. Have a blessed day. Aboru aboye aboshishe oboato.